What's going on, everybody? What's good? What's good? What's good? What is going on? Full MLB slate, some live tennis. We are finding some positive expected value. What's popping? What's popping? Quick little promo. Guys, we're using Pick the Odds today. Of course, the amazing tool, Pick the Odds. If you guys are not utilizing Pick the Odds, you can access an account for entirely free. So go to picktheodds.app and you can find some of the stuff that I am. You can find amazing positive expected value plays as well as some arbitrage. We're going to be finding both. And we are live. Give me one more second to get another promotion out so we can get everything going. Also, guys, chat is open on Twitter and on YouTube. So feel free to leave some comments, please, and thank you. So I can, if you're watching on YouTube, please leave a like. But if you're watching on X, let me know if there's a game you guys want me to dive into. If there's a market you want me to look at, Pick the Odds has absolutely everything. So with that being said, we're going to be able to find so many really high value plays as it stands. So promo is out and we're ready to rock, boys. So as you can see, full MLB slate. Some Giants, Blue Jays, Orioles, Rays. Bunch of no new series today. What's the Sunday night game? Nasty Nate and Tarek Skubal on Sunday Night Baseball in Arlington. That is that's fun stuff. Really fun stuff. All right, 12 more seconds and we are good to go. We're gonna be looking for some live ARBs. We're gonna look for some positive expected value. We're gonna look at all the markets. There are a bunch of boosts out there as well. FanDuel has had their, I want to say it's like 5 days of home run promotions. So Pick the Odds is a great feature where you can add boosts to the line to see what the value is. You can also scroll through the live odds screen and look for some plays that are off market average, add the boost and see how much expected value we can find there. The 5 days of dingers bonus on FanDuel. I'm opting in on my phone. I would do it on stream, but if you guys are familiar, sometimes it has really long days. It gives me really a lot of trouble to, unfortunately, find my location and all that stuff. FanDuel does not want me to win. It is what it is. All right, so I'm opting into the bonus. We'll be looking for some of that. But let's see if we can find an ARB quickly. Of course, we have a lot of time until game time. We have the first game at 12 o'clock, but hopefully we can find a ARB. Live's going to be tough, but let's no ARBs right now. All these are live tennis. If you guys are seeing something you like, but this indicator is letting us know that like they're literally going back and forth, so these odds are moving quickly. I'll be coming back. Oh, right here, Novig, the volley, only $32 of liquidity though, so nobody can get in. Screen's flying all over the place because of a lot of live games. What do we have here? Let's do a quick pause and see if we can find that MLB ARB. Only $233 of liquidity there, and it's also at Rivers for the other side of the ARB, which is not widely available, but there is a free $13.85 if you have $500. Let's make it just $177, free $492. With the liquidity, I mean, listen, if you guys have a Rivers account and you have a Novig account, Novig, of course, one of the best prediction market exchanges out there for finding arbitrage, as well as just positive expected value in general, but really great for ARBs because they're never going to limit you, which is amazing. So if you have Rivers and you're quick with only this much liquidity on the under, Jeffrey Springs earned out or just put out the pitcher outs. Free ARB there. Let's see, let's just make this 233. Somebody can get in and hopefully make a quick 15, but whole chat unfortunately probably can't with that limited liquidity going on there. We can add to that liquidity pool, but let's do a quick EV scan. Then we'll go through the odds screen and we'll go game by game today, and we'll look at we'll talk some ball. Obviously, at the end of the day, expected value is going to triumph ball knowing as it always does. Of course, ball knowing leads to bias and probably bad decision making, but it's always fun to talk baseball, especially when you're a big fan like I am, and hopefully you guys can also pick up some just game from betting and of course from some ball knowledge. We're going to pause here. Live tennis. 8.8. Let's see if this is still there on DK. Nope, that one went too quickly. This one right here as well. Let's see if this one. No, another one. Odds shifted unfavorably. Unfavorably for DraftKings. They're slow, but this Savali. So Savali is a big fade today, according to the market, at least under 3.5 Ks. Again, at a book like Rivers, which is not widely available. I think it's in Illinois. It's in New York, probably Jersey as well. I'm sure some other states, but best price in market is actually at 1x bet at plus 120, but at plus 110 with a market average of minus 106, DVIG to Circa, FanDuel, and Penny. 5.9% EV on Savali under K. So if you do have a Rivers account, this is absolutely worth playing. Unfortunately, Rivers and I are not on the best of terms because they decided to say screw you and you can't bet here anymore, which is the unfortunate reality of the game. We play underdog minus 115 each way. This is a good look if you have a Rivers account. I will track just to I'm not going to block this time just so we can see what we got. I will track this, but with that being said, annoying that it's at Rivers, but that's what square books are going to do. They're going to leave some good EV out there. Michaelis at 365, over 3.5. So now the D-backs are generally not a high strikeout team. Of course, at the end of the day, like we were talking about, ball knowledge goes to the side when it comes to expected value. Michaelis not a huge K pitcher. Let's look at where this line has been moving at some books over. Let's see, FanDuel opened at minus. Let's see, we can actually hide these so we could just get FanDuel. Opened at minus 102, got down to over here plus 104. Now it's sitting at that plus 102, what it's at right now. See what Novig was looking like. Open at minus 103, got as high as plus 118-ish, plus 107. This is 20 minutes ago. Circa at 105, they've been pretty consistent there. We can hide Circa for right this second. A little bit of back and forth on Michaelis over K's. No lineups just yet. This is a 410. But Michaelis, not a huge K pitcher at all by any means. Only $500 limits at Circa. More liquidity at Novig than even there are limits at Circa for this K market. But B365, this is definitely worth a bet if you have a 365 account as well. So unfortunately, New York, no 365. Ooh, a Yurfie at 365. Crochet, Cade Horton, plus 150. Market average, plus 125. If you have a B365, this is absolutely a play. Only 140 at Circa, but $3,000 limit. So there still is value there. Let's look at how Circa's priced. Shut these out for a sec. Let's get Circa back up. Circa's been at plus 140 since they opened. When they opened, said only 10 seconds ago. So that's very possible. They just opened a Nerfy market for this. But Bookmaker have it? No, Penny had it. Opened 9 hours ago, plus 125, and has been sitting around there the entire time. This is worth it. Plus 125 market average, deviating to all these books as well as these two exchanges with really good liquidity on the over as well. Of course, Crochet is an absolute wagon. We know the Cubs can hit. Horton is not really great, but this is also definitely worth playing. So we'll do a little bit of this and track. I also forgot to do this as well, but we'll track this as well. I want to see, just to confirm that these lines are still available, you click the link on Pick the Odds. One of the amazing features. Deep linking brings you up to the market player. I could do a little Control F, Miles, Michaelis P, props. It's only for, there we go, player props, 3.5 plus 25, so it's there. 365, can't click it, there's no account here, but for continuity's sake and transparency's sake, we will track this one as well. So bet tracking is in beta. I picked the odds. I mentioned this a little bit. I cannot wait for them to release their bet tracking. I can't stop saying it because it's just the facts of the matter. It's going to be so epic. Alt Yurfie. To be clear, this is a Yurfie in Chicago, Boston. Alt Yurfie in Miami, Kansas City with Junk, who's been really good. Bubichu has, of course, been very good as well. Plus 310 over the market average, plus 262. Of course, you got to get 2 runs across on the first, but there's EV there. There is EV there at FanDuel, so that's worth looking at. This as well, an alternate year fee, plus 245. DVigging to itself. Best is actually at Bovada, plus 250. Suarez, Jose Soriano, alternate over. The Phillies have been raking a little bit. Also at DK, it's the same price there. A lot of alternate nerfies, but here's the tennis, 2.5% to Novig, BOL, and Penny. Let's pull up. The market average is minus 132. This is 23.5, but the odds have shifted unfavorably. So this is unfortunate that is still showing here. We got an hour until that match goes, but it is not available, unfortunately, which is okay. Game point and odd, Pepio, Taylor Rogers. This is the VIG2 Penny and Bookmaker. Penny only taking $128 a pop on each side. No limit information for BM, but yeah, it's let me refresh and get the play button going, because these odds, that's definitely why things aren't showing. Because when you pause, it is pausing your expected value calcs in the market. It's better for content, as I've talked about, but for betting, you probably just want to keep it on and run through the board there. I'm confused as to if Penny's the best in the market. I'm confused why it's devigging from there if it's the same price. But Bookmaker, a lot of value. Market average plus 126. This is such a niche market, so I'm not going to spend too much time honestly talking about that. But EV is EV. Market is really agnostic for that. Not a ton of stuff. This one, a little tennis at 11. So this one starts soon. Let's see if it's still there. Okay, so we're at least seeing some action here on this for DK. Minus 125. Going to go back to PTO. The market average is minus 143. Minus 144 with 350 liquidity at Penny, 363 liquidity at Novig, an amazing exchange. We're gonna track. We're betting some tennis. I'm gonna go and copy that link address as well. That's a play. Bonzi / I don't even know, Marozan. Marazan. U 23.5 games. There we go. So there's some tennis for us. So we got a quick little lag session there. Sorry, we got a good start to the day with some EV. That's very nice. We have a couple of games. We're gonna go through the board and talk some games, look through it. The old-fashioned way per se, where it's this nerfy Scoobs. It's only minus 35. A lot of time for this one. This one, of course, Sunday Night Baseball. So we're gonna see definitely more interest in the market. I'm going to assume in this game, standalone, ESPN. Big limits at Circa on these nerfies, 3K pop. Good liquidity also at Novig, naturally. Curious how this one ends up moving. But, I mean, honestly, I think this is a track as well. That's just like a ball knowledge play as well. Like, got Scoobs. I could see that one really ballooning because of who is on the bump. Evaldi's been awesome. Scoobs, of course, is awesome. He had a little rough go around in that other start pre-break, I think it was. It was against who did he play with before? Let me get my other monitor going. I want to just not have any lag issues. I'm going to close this other DK, but we got in on that tennis bet. We got in on that nerfy as well. Who did Scoobs pitch against where he just couldn't find the zone, which is like so unlike Scoobs, but obviously every pitcher is going to have like that one game that's not great. It's just baseball. You're throwing 30 plus games. But so nice to see Scoobs going. That was against Seattle. Yup. He could not find the zone. 4 earned runs, 2K. Like, can't find there's only 2 walks, but for Tarik Skubal, 2 walks is not something you see often. Some very low percentages here. If you had picked the odds, you're on the free version, you have a cap of 2% expected value. So you will be seeing these if you had my EV calcs. But these, again, like I've mentioned a lot of times, these are my EV calcs, not PTO, of course, is the facilitator of the math and of the calculations. But with that being said, these are what I determined to be expected value. It's been going really well, this test that I've had for almost 2 months now. Of course, markets are always changing, and we have made some changes over the course of these 2 months, more like 6 weeks realistically, but worth noting. So let's go look at the bet tracking. It is beta, but what did I bet for tomorrow? Oh, this is tomorrow, this tennis match. That's 7:21. Okay, so we'll sweat that for a multi-day. That's on me for not reading into it. But this is what we have open from today. Michaelis over 3.5 Ks. Yurfie, Boston, Chicago. Savali under 3.5 Ks. Pittsburgh, Chicago. White Sox. Nerfy in Texas for tonight, Sunday Night Baseball. So nice to have a play for the standalone SMB. First game of the SMB, or first SMB since the All-Star break, of course. And then a tennis match that unfortunately is not for tomorrow. Not until tomorrow. But let's look at the odds screen. Let's do a little bit of money line action here. Giants, Blue Jays. I'm going to look for a game. Let's actually look at the totals. Let's see if we could find some home run props again for that FanDuel promo, 50% boost that they have 5 days. Day 1, I hit on Buxton from Pick the Odds. I was looking at the market average, and FanDuel with the boost was very high EV. It took that. It cashed yesterday. Same thing with Mr. Mike Trout, who hit a double in his first AB, but then 3 Ks for Mikey T after that. This is an interesting one. I mean, it's 8.5 is his total. I don't like conventional wisdom and ball knowing tells me under here with who's pitching for both teams, but the Blue Jays are just really hot with the bats. The Giants can really get really cold. Pepio Rogers, I got Pepio going on the mound for me in fantasy today. That's a big one. Weather around the country, we'll do a weather check. PTO has great weather information, but okay, Stroman, Grant Holmes, 9.5 total. Andrew Abbott, David Peterson. This total is 6.5. We have a Yurfie here. Expected value, so that is what that is, but that's worth noting. Joe Ryan, German Marquez, the Twins, not doing great in the elevation, honestly, unsurprisingly. Kershaw, Quintana, Michaelis, Kelly. So there's some games where I do expect some offense. Let's go into each game quickly. Let's do one quick ARB check. We got a bunch of new guys in chat. Thank you guys for joining. We'll do a quick look for any ARBs. Nothing live, of course, always, and PTO is so good at that. Actually, right here was this Bovada. Oh, this is BOL. Adolis Garcia hits, runs, RBIs. There is an ARB here, and with this open tooling feature, you click that, and then boom, it's going to show up. BOL is going to pull up, and then the other tab. I shouldn't even say tab. It shows up on other screens. You have DK pull up there. That play comes right into the bet slip on BOL. It brings you to the game, but you got to still find that prop. But that is an ARB opportunity at Bet Online as well as at DK. So that's a good ARB. I'm going to close those 2 screens, though, just to eliminate lag. Back to PTO. And it's also a B365, which is just a lower odds. But if you have, let's do 150, because I feel like at least BOL will definitely be taking 150, I would assume, on a prop like this. But there's a free $50. So if you guys have a BOL account and a DK, which I would assume most serious sports bettors have. I would assume all serious sports bettors have. But even if you're a little bit more wrecked still, BOL, a great place to bet. DK, of course, is DK. There's a free $50 out there to just put up, and really not a ton of capital up front. So if you have 365, same thing. Really hoping I'll do 150 as well, just to show the difference. Either making 48.75 or you're making 45 bones, doing absolutely nothing except watching stream, listening to me talk some ball, and of course using the fantastic Pick the Odds. So hopefully you guys can get down this ARB. I'm going to play in 10 seconds because I know obviously there's some stream lag. hopefully it's still there in the 10 and you guys are sitting there on your phones, computers, etc., and just bet this ARB and get it for $50. That's what I'm really hoping for. That is a great way to start your Sunday 350s. If you have more, again, I don't know what the liquidity is on these markets. I would assume they got to be not 2K. I would expect BOL to take 265. I feel like we could probably BOL, I would assume, shows liquidity, or I should say limits in this case. I'm looking at their screen now. Okay, here it is. Let's see. I'm not logged in, so where's Adolis? Ooh, he's not even showing up. I don't know if this is so maybe it isn't available, unfortunately. Let's do some digging around. I mean, we're not building a parlay. Yeah, this is parlay builder only. It's not letting me scroll, so maybe this is a ghost, unfortunately. Let me play and see if it still shows that it's there. That'd be unfortunate because that looked like a good one. Yeah, that's already gone. So that got pulled from the market, unfortunately. So not going to claim the free 50s for chat, unfortunately, right now. ARBs, of course, not in our control. Yeah, sorry for not switching screens. Not in our control, of course, when there is an ARB. Okay. I wanted you guys to hopefully get in there, but nothing any of us could do there. Let's go back to the odds screen. We're going to go back to we're going to go into each game. So let's see. So pick the odds is amazing just for like looking at the market and for expected value arbitrage, really the main features that any serious sports bettor should care about. But in situations like this, especially with boosts, like of course you do want to take a look at some pitcher metrics. Like if you're allowing a lot of fly balls, of course the odds are going to indicate that, but you would like, or I should say, generally speaking, it'd be nice to, know what side of the dish these pitchers are allowing, a lot of contact to. I would normally pull up like Fangraphs, but last time I did it crashed stream, and that's the last thing we want going on here. But just like back of napkin guys that I know can allow a lot of dingers. Barrios, of course, can get hit hard. Pepio can get hit hard as well. Pivetta and Gore both have a little bit of home run problems. Soriano can let up dingers. Grant Holmes let up dingers. Jeffrey Springs, Gavin Williams can be letting up dingers as well. A's have been hot. I know they turned up yesterday. I think they lost game 1 of that series, though. Let's confirm that quickly on my other monitor. Quickly, box score for A's Guardians. They won 8-2, but the game prior, the Guardians 8-6. So the A's, for our purposes, we're looking for some dingers. They hit them hard, but let's pull up the player prop screen. Let's go to home runs. And we're going to try to find some FanDuel. Let's look at Rooker. 430, market average 434. So with the FanDuel boost, that's definitely going to be some positive expected value there. Lawrence Butler, 440, market average 470. Oh, that just got hit, as we saw live, and we can. Now I want to track. I want to pull up the odds. Open at 440, 430, 440, 450, 440, 430. So definitely some movement there on Lawrence Butler to go yard against Gavin Williams. Only $124. Liquidity a penny, but trending in the same direction as FanDuel. So Lawrence Butler could be a good target for the FanDuel boost. Nick Kurtz can't stop smashing baseballs. And this is probably the winner here, folks. 400 at BM, 360 at Circa, 390 at FanDuel, 351 at Penny. I'm going to go ahead and, I'll show you right here with, of course, the Deep Link feature. Just like that, boom, Nick Kurtz home run in the bet slip. And then this is the promo I was talking about, 5 days of dingers. I'm logged in on my phone. So I'm actually going to back Kurtz. He went yard again yesterday. He just can't stop raking. 390 has the worst. No, Jose is 370. Butler might have to 430. I'm watching it live on FanDuel. But at 585 for Kurtz to go yard, that's absolute expected value. I am adding reward and I am placing. So bet place Nick Kurtz home run. Yeah, that was a quick little use of it. There's of course going to be a bunch of options to use for the boost. Now, when you're getting 50% boosts, um, that's going to add a lot of expected value to certain situations. And based on the market there, with an average, with an average of 338 with the FanDuel boost, that's 585. DVigging that to Circa, Bookmaker, Penny, Novig, wherever you want to DVig that, there is expected value there. Seeing already some 1.82% there at Bookmaker at 4-1. And then now we're getting 5.85 to 1. So Nick Kurtz, take us home. I am, like I mentioned, 1-2 for this promo. And what better way to keep things going than to go 2-1 with this promo? I'm just going to let the boys know that's what I'm betting today. Nick Kurtz, home run, plus 585. Great EV there. But let's keep looking around. Langoliers. Not every book up for this market. Jose was 370 at FanDuel, 425. So you're going to get a lot of good EV spots with the boost. There's going to be a lot of options to use with the 50% boost like that. And these are definitely maxes. I mean, unless you have $200+ boost, which I doubt FanDuel is giving out that much for boosts, but I guess accounts are all different. Okay, I think that's kind of a no-brainer to back. We just backed market-wise Nick Kurtz. Let's do it. Gavin Williams. I'm gonna pull up another screen just out of curiosity's sake. I could have done this prior, but again, like market is going to beat ball knowledge any day of the week. And once everyone gets that through their heads, if you're watching this stream, I'd assume you do have that. But Gavin Williams splits. Just looking, 6 home runs against left-handed batters, 8 against right-handed batters this year. Home run per 9 higher against righties. Kurtz is a lefty with a beautiful swing, if I'm not mistaken. Kurtz. Lancaster, PA. Yep, lefty. So lower home run through 9 against left-handed bats. But with that being said, still over 1. Fairly high Philly independent pitching, XFIP. Fly ball rate also higher against lefties, 41.3% fly ball rate for G-Dub against left-handed bats. So we're locked in, boys. Nick Kurtz. Nick Kurtz, 1 to 390. Okay, so there's even more value there. What did I get it at? Oh, it was 390 when I got it as well. I don't know why it's showing. Maybe it went to 380 quick, back to 390. Hopefully you guys on stream are the ones making that market move there. But yeah, we're looking at JRAM there. That's why I probably got confused. Jacob Wilson 1 yard. Just curious because 1,200, no odds available at Penny or BM. So that's a nice little start for the home run promo. Another game we want to target. What were we looking at before? Of course, go to Coors. When these boosts are available, if you can get the game at like Coors or Sacramento or even Steinbrenner Field, you're going to find a lot of expected value with boosts in those situations because, like I said, Buxton was like plus 220. Or I'll check the bet slip. I'll actually confirm that because I want to be right with that. So Buxton, let's go to my settled on FD. This plus 215, but then with the boost with the 324, which is like massive EV, and like let's pull it up here so we can see a similar example. Let's even just go right back to BB. At 220 today, you adding that boost, you're going to have around 330. And that's going to be so much better than the market average. Of course, it's probably low in the first place, but you're in elevation. So games like this, and also the guys like even like the Judges of the world, the Otanis, like those are going to be great spots to target the boosts. I know Otani went yachts yesterday. He had a freaking piss missile yesterday. If you guys didn't see the video, it was majestic Otani blast. But like these boosts are going to be good to find value on. Of course, like a Jacob Wilson, where you can get his odds from like 12 to 1 to 15 to 1 better than market average. That's like a fun sweat, but you're going to be able to get a lot of value on like the Otanis, Judges, Trouts, etc. of the world, even Buxton's in Colorado. I want to check quickly again, just for my own records. I know that Twins lost yesterday, but I'm curious if anybody. They still put up a 6 spot being in core, so I'm curious who went yard, if anybody. Oh, no home runs for the Twins yesterday. Damn. 3 for the Rockies. Hunter Goodman, McMahon, and Tovar. Tovar went 3 for 4. Nice to see him back in raking. But no home runs for the Twins yesterday. Okay. What's his name? Royce didn't even play yesterday. Damn. Oh, Royce Lewis. Bucks went 0 for 5 with 2 Ks. It's all right. Happens to the best of us. Guy's an animal. Rockies 2 straight wins. Don't let those boys in Colorado get hot. That's it for another game. Actually, we could still be going through here. Trevor Larnach. Let's look at like Hunter Jordan back. We'll look at Jordan back quickly. 520 at FanDuel, Flex 61. So there's going to be great expected value there with the 50% boost. Jordan Beck is definitely a qualified candidate. Now, a lot of people will be qualified candidates with this promotion, like I was talking about. Wallner. Let's look at Matt Wallner. 290. That's even better already. So if you want to like devig to the market prior, this is a good talking point. So say you're using Circa, or let's in this case, we'll just keep it simple. We'll use Novig as our source of truth. Novig exchange, $607 of liquidity. They have plus 270. FanDuel is plus 290. So with the boosts, you want to target when FanDuel has worse odds than your DVig book or books of choice, and then with the boost would take it over the odds of the market as well as the books you're DVigging in enough or higher enough so there is a lot of expected value. So here, I actually wouldn't target Wallner because it's already the best price at FD. Now, if you DVig to FD, or if FD is a book that you think is good for finding home runs, then this would actually be like the best case scenario. But from my experience, and please correct me in chat if you guys disagree or see anything differently, but this is a situation where I would actually not want this play. I would not take this bet because FanDuel being the best price in market, then even with the boost, I think it's not worth it. Let's look at Correa. 455 market average. So Correa would more fit the criteria, devigging to Penny and Novig there. Not a ton of liquidity. A lot of liquidity on the under there. So people are not on the Correa train. And with the way the Twins are hitting and the way they have it yet to kind of conform to the altitude per se, kind of makes sense. Look at McMahon. If we did, we'll do it again anyway. He's been heating up. McMahon is a strikeout or bust. He had a K yesterday. He hit a home run. I think he's homered in back-to-back. Yep, homered. He's homered in 3 of his last 5. Obviously, the hit rate, generally speaking, does not matter like that, especially when it comes to home runs. But especially with the All-Star break. But with that being said, 2 homers out of the break. He's clearly seeing the ball well. Of course, 2 Ks in those games because what's a game without a Ryan McMahon strikeout? Not shocked about that at all. Let's look for another potential home run shot, and then let's look at some strikeout props. We'll go through the EV screen as well. ARB. We'll try to find some more stuff. We do have some good plays. I'll go to the bet tracking and showcase what we have. I guess I will track I shouldn't say I guess because I played it, but for continuity's sake, we're going to officially track in the beta, even though they go away. But I'll be taking screenshots so I know the Nick Kurtz long ball. The kid is raking. RBIs, let's go to homers. 390, even though that's not the odds we got. Let's see if we can add the boost here. We can't. That'd be a great feature. I'm sure PTO is thinking about it with their bet tracking beta. And this is what we have so far. So we have attendance for tomorrow. Can I make this smaller? Oh, all right, whatever. Oh, new group. I don't need a group right now. Nope, don't want to delete that. No. All right, well, I guess we have a group on accident. That's cool to see that they're going to have this grouping feature so you can maybe track different. Oh, why did I go all the way down here? This is the beta, guys, as I mentioned, as you can clearly see. I'll group them all at this point. Like, why not? They're all from the same EV calc. So might as well group them all together. But that is essentially what I would assume. And PTO, if you guys, any devs there or Anybody on the team can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm assuming this is because, as you can name them, let's name it 720 stream. So if you do have different EV calcs, because you can create your own EV calcs, you can group them so you know like which EV calc they came from, so you can back test those. And then if you have, I'm sure like an ARBS that you track here, you could just name it like ARBS so it all comes together. But Yurfie, Boston, Chicago, and odds will be showing up, I have to assume, in the books. This is B265. Michaelis over 3.5 Ks. Kurt's home run. Under in this tennis match, 23.5 games. That's for tomorrow, some tennis. Nerfy in Det Tex and an under K prop. White Sox Pirates. These are all from the EV screen. And I cannot wait for this dashboard to go live. Coming soon, man. It's been saying it for so long, and I know that they're hard at work to get such an amazing product out, and they don't want to rush that, and I can't blame them, but it's going to be so sick. No live MLB ARBs, unfortunately. But let's go back to EV. This is PTO's default. I have my test with, which is less of a test at this point. Wow, a lot of EV here to Novig. Market average minus 128 with a lot of liquidity. This is definitely a play if you have a Novig. Now Novig is only an app, so there's no deep linking here, so you got to pull up that app quick. But we are tracking, just to confirm, this is for tomorrow. This is for tomorrow. But I'm pulling up the app quickly just to make sure this exists before I do any tracking. Of course, when I can click on a link, but let's make sure here. Obviously, it's so much time for things to change. But I'm very curious what that is. I'm pulling up Novig on my phone. Oh, it's updating, verifying location. Come on, bro. You know where I'm at. WTA. Who are we looking at? HAY. Monday, so I passed it. Oh, tomorrow's Monday. Yeah, today's Sunday. So I didn't pass it. Monday at 11 a.m. Yeah, I'm not. Oh, this is women's ATP. That's what we're looking for. Okay. I'm just making sure this exists for everybody before I track, and so I can get in, of course. Monday at 11 a.m. A lot of matches going on. Yeah, this exists. Plus 100. I'm staring at it. I know the right now on my phone. It is right there. Let me see if you could see. Hells. Even money PTO. Shout to Novig, amazing exchange. If you guys do not have a Novig account, sign up. Use code BetSmart. You'll get a deposit match. So absolutely use promo code BetSmart when signing up for Novig. If you do not have a Novig account just yet, that is going to really help your handicapping and your expected value. Let's track this. Promo code BetSmart, you get a deposit match, and that's an amazing feature to get a deposit match just for finding yourself better bets and to get free money. Promo code BetSmart, Novig. What are you guys waiting for? All right, we're in. This is live 8-1. Let's see if that's still there. Yeah, already gone. DK. I'm not even going to share my tab there because it is gone. We're on pause, right? Yeah, so that makes sense. Pausing for content though. Ooh, pitcher outs. Bubic over 17.5. Again at Rivers though, man. If you have a Rivers account, bet this and then bet a crazy home run parlay to keep your account looking square. But this is a good expected value play right here. Minus 199 at Penny, 170 BOL, 187 Novig, 717 liquidity. Shout out to Novig. Promo code BetSmart. No data, which makes sense on an earned out market. But there is expected value here. Big time. I guess I'll track for continuity's sake. But with that being said, it's at Rivers. Not widely available, unfortunately. Barrios over K's at PointsBet. Somehow you guys have a PointsBet account still. I guess it's absolutely worth. I'm not even going to bother with that. BR is more. I thought PointsBet went out of business. This is CA. Obviously don't think California has betting. I could I know they don't. I'm not really sure what that means. Not gonna lie. Not gonna say that I know something I don't know. I'll be honest, I don't know. Soriano Caves, like so much EV at these square ass books that limit you, and that's unfortunate. This is not what we bet. Yes, it is. Let's see if this is there. Nope, not even there on DKX. We're paused. So the EV, I mean, not unsurprisingly, right? Like, of course, if you saw like crazy expected value calculations, like 50+%, odds are you did something wrong, because there's not going to be. I mean, in very small instances, especially if it's live, you're going to have circumstances where that does work in your favor, and you will be able to find some really good plays there. But with that being said, if you're seeing some like crazy high EV most of the time on like some, especially some like efficient markets, or even like some player props, unless it's a mistake you get in on, like odds are your EV calc is the one that's off. And just for new people in streams understanding, I have it mostly to like the main rec books as well, some of the main offshores. If you are a professional or a serious sports bettor, not even a pro, you should have as many outs as possible. But for stream's sake, and for like the likelihood of like what books you have, keeping it simple to the rec and mostly known bets. This is still here. We got in on that. Minus 57 market average. So especially, minus 58, but DK didn't move. All right. There's no, I'm going to go to the odds screen as, let's go to the odds screen. Let's do a little like ball talking. I know I've been saying that EV is always going to rule the world, but if there is some EV to, from the market to like one of the rec books for a game that I just do like on the money line, basically a pick 'em. Not basically, depends where you're looking. Like if you're betting on if you want the Giants, obviously if you have a Circa, that's a no-brainer there. Market average 106, so these rec books aren't going to be even money on Novig, only 220 liquidity, but look at that liquidity at ProfitX, another fantastic exchange, 4,400 bones, 20K limits, of course. The big boys there, Circa and Penny, unsurprising. Even money at Bookmaker. So this one, like gun to head, I'm leaning Giants, not just because I have Robbie Ray in fantasy. Realistically, I'm not going to sit here and give anything more than that. But I need a good start for right. Oh, but Bookmaker just hopped. You guys saw that happen in real time. Let's pull up the history just to confirm. Amazing icons, just like that. As you can see, increased by more than 5%. It shows you this is increased by more than 2%. So they have this icon system throughout the website, all over on different things, indicating different happenings in the market or within the game, within lineup data, etc., just to make sure that you guys don't need to think as much. Helps you just get after it. This means it decreased by more than 5%, decreased by more than 2%. But I'm sitting here talking about Giants hopefully winning, and then the market tells me to screw myself by backing the Jays, which is fine. Haven't played it, not playing it. Like these terrible teams, White Sox, Pirates. It's been fun series. White Sox put whooping on them, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah, they won game one, 10-1, and then a 10-4. I bet the under in game one, and that was dead in the water right from the get-go. Rivers' best price here on the Reds. The Reds are putting the beating on the Mets. See, like these series there haven't been anything that like a lot of times, right? Of course, at the end of the day, like I'm betting EV, right? Like I want to find the bets that are literally telling me that the market's telling me they're good bets. PTO's helping me find good bets, but like sometimes you gotta play some stuff that you like. But with these series, I've been off. I haven't really had anything that I've loved from like a game perspective where like I'm just like I'm betting this, I like it. Has not been the case. I mean, Crochet only 136, man, 127 at Penny though. There's no value, which is like. I hope that if anybody who's watching right now is just somebody who likes to bet and they're like looking at this and they're like, holy shit, like, what am I doing? Like, market's at 127 and like I want to bet on this game and all I can get is 135 when like Penny's got 127. Of course, depends where you're located. Novig, Wow, a lot of liquidity on Profit X. Wow, minus 131, $9,500. Profit X, amazing exchange as well. Really recommend you guys download that as well. And Novig, promo code BetSmart. Let's go to the totals and see if there's anything from like a ball perspective that I want to get in on. Game started an hour. I'm probably going to run for another 5 or so minutes here. I'll go through my bets again. We'll do another EVs. We'll do another run through down the entire board here. Odd screen, ARB, EV, and then we'll talk about the bets that we tracked, and then we will have ourselves a Sunday. Looks like weather's clearing up in New York. Hopefully, wherever you guys are at, it's nice out. But ball knowing total again, I think I like this under market average 115. Of course, Novig best in price with how much liquidity? Only 40 bones. Damn. Okay. Profit X though, just right there with 1,500 liquidity. So shout out to Profit X. Pepio, 8.5. Trevor Rogers, kind of like the under the way that they have been playing, but let's see what 9 is on the under. In PTO, they show all of the alternate lines, even if they're not available at certain books. One of the only tools that do that. Oh, minus 118 at Penny, but also at MGM. 9, a key number in baseball. Let's look at Penny's chart because MGM's chart is not going to tell us anything worthwhile. I'm going to track this, honestly. Under 9. Bet MGM. Let's do the deep link just to showcase and make sure it's there. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. I like that. I really like that. I from like a ball perspective, didn't mean to click that. I know I'm showing that still, but I'm betting the under 9. I don't know how to work a computer. I'm being computer. Oh, there we go. Under 9. TB/ball. Okay. That's it. Boom, boom, boom. And then I track that, right? Well, we'll do it again. And I can delete one. Under 9. We want the under 9. Okay. Let's go back to the board, to the full odd screen, so we can go back and do another final run through there. I tracked. I realized I was on MGM. My bad, boys. But yes, I tracked the under 9. 10.5 Yankees, Braves makes sense with who's pitching. Nothing I think about there. Suarez, I guess this means that they're at 8. I would assume. Let's click in. No need to assume. We can click some buttons and find out for ourselves. Oh, they're at 9. That's that bet 105. Interesting. If it was at 8.5, I was kind of like in the over. At this point, like no. At 9, it makes a lot more sense. So I'm gonna pass on that. But my head was at the over. Also my head. I mean, Guardians against lefties is tough because they stink. Let's click in here and see what's going on. Because I do kind of like the over. I know these both games flew over. But it's at 8. Minus only 74 bones. Plus 104 at Penny. If you're rec only, or only have rec books, I should say, I kind of like this over 8. Cleveland Athletics. I'm gonna do this and just confirm that good old FanDuel. Ready bet curtsy. This is SGP. So I'm sure the price is off with an over and a home run. Minus 104. Yep, it's right there. So over. Track. Over. Track. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. final run through of the full board from the total. We looked at the money lines, nothing that is worth betting at this moment, unfortunately. Kind of like this over, but not a lot. Whenever they're not showing here, I'm assuming that means it's at 7.5 already, or 8, I should say, because that was 7.5. Yep, at 8. Even money at MGM, which is in line with better than market average. Same price as Circa. So that could be worth it. Totals in the MLB, man. I know totals are obviously efficient as hell, but they've been killing me. I wasn't on like a side like Padres Nationals the other day where it was 2-0 heading into the bottom 8, and then that game went over the 8.5. I didn't get that screwed, but I've had some bad total beats recently. I kind of like this over as well, but I'm assuming it's 9 most places, which is I'd have to assume. We could click in, but I could bet that, and this is also probably 9 as well, based on where the market is sitting. By the way, PTL, while I'm here, I'll show you, like, they have everything. Every single market you can ask for. Innings, first 5, first 7, first 3. Total, if you go to totals, total strikeouts, walks, hits, all these markets. And, of course, primary markets here, then all these different sports. Obviously, we're in the dog days, as we know. I don't know if there's Summer League today. I guess I'll check, but, like, I can't bet Summer League in NY. I think it is very limited where you can bet. There are 3 Summer League games, so go to Summer League bettors, PTO, of course. I'll look at it just to showcase, just to show you guys. We'll get to the spread there. I, again, can't bet it, so just curious. 1K limits at Penny, 1,100 at Circa, so good to know. Liquidity at Profit X, at No Vegas high. Pretty high for summer NBA. So I'll let you guys chew on this for a hot sec, though I can't, unfortunately, do anything with any edge. And if you don't have an edge and you can't bet it, do you even have an edge? Unfortunate reality. All right, give you guys a quick sec to take a look at that. But final ARB, final EV, and then we'll call it. Is there free money for the boys on stream? Not an MLB pregame, unfortunately. EV. We're going away from the default into I should just rename like EV instead of test because it's past the testing phase at this point. Though the sample's not big enough per se, but it's close. Stroman outs again, Rivers. Abbott outs under to FD and BOL plus 105. Let's see what MGM, let's see if it pulls it up. That looks like a bet to me. That looks like a bet to me. Boom. Okay, that's another one. Kelly K's at HR. HR's not widely available. DK. So if you guys can let me know in chat, I don't know if DK is sharper for K's than you're probably giving credit for, and might actually be a good book to devig K's from. And another amazing feature of Pick the Odds is that you can set your EV calcs per sports book, per market. I'm not going to run through it all right this second because I've done it so many times, but on stream next week, for anyone's curious, in the filters, you can run through and filter your EV calcs per sports book, per bet type, per league. And we have a bunch of advanced filters, as you can see, because we really got granular with it to maximize our opportunity to find and make good bets that are winners and are winners for the long run, not small samples. Soriano at Rivers, man. You bet all these things at Rivers, no matter what, even if they hit, you're going to get limited by the time you wake up tomorrow morning. Some 2% and under. Nervy here, I mean, let's see. Like, if you have a Rivers, man, this is a bet. This is a bet. This is a ball knower bet / a market bet. What's better than confirmation bias, which is exactly what that is. But I'm in. I wouldn't be in if I could bet at Rivers here, this Nerfy SF tour. You'll sweat it out in less than an hour. Hopefully in literally 50 minutes from now, you guys have a winner in your pocket. Some small EV. Yeah. Okay. Recap of what we have played. Beta. So please, yeah, the 2 tennises for tomorrow, as we know. Beta. So again, get PTO some leeway here. I'm assuming when it's all said and done, let's put these all into this group while we're at it. When it's all said and done, I'm making me rename this group again. Okay, so again, beta. But we have a bunch of stuff. I'll just put it all into the group and we'll name it again. Oh, can I even name it anymore? All right. Again, beta. Savali under 3.5 Ks. Kurtz home run FanDuel boost. Yurfie Boston Chicago. Michaelis 4+ Ks. Nerfy Detroit Texas. Tennis for tomorrow. Fabian and Benjamin under 23.5 games. Under 9 Ball TB. Under 17.5 outs. Andrew Abbott Reds Mets. Quentin Hollis money line. That was at no big even money. Bubich over 17.5 outs, and Guardians A's over 8. So we have a lot of stuff on the line for today. Amazing session. Shout out to Pick the Odds, and you can try it for free at picktheodds.app, but it's actually worth really every cent. I'll go to the pricing screen. $120 a month, worth every cent. Intermediate tier with the free trial, 5 days, $80 a month. Starter tier, $30 a month. As you can see, some of the intricacies of what the differences are. ROI limit, none for ARBs, which is amazing. So for $30 a month, you can find unlimited ARBs, which if you have enough liquidity, you literally make that back in one singular arbitrage bet. Intermediate, they'll probably take you 2 arbitrage bets, but if you're a serious bettor, that's easy. And this will take you 3, but all the EV that you get across the board with no filters whatsoever, no caps on anything, everything you can ask for from the tool. $120 a month is worth every cent. And for free, 2% ARBs. You can literally ARB 2% ARBs until you can make 30 bones, 80 bones, 120 bones to justify the monthly spend. And it's worth every cent, especially with football season on the horizon. A lot more football content coming your way from Pick the Odds and myself, as well as from other streams, as well as on betsmart.co, our website. Also, some video reviews coming out as well to review a lot of sports betting tools. That is at GoBetSmart on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok. So make sure you're following because there's going to be a lot of amazing content. And streams have been fun. So if you guys are not using Pick the Odds, do yourself a favor and get started. It's an amazing tool. Thank you guys all for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Have an amazing Sunday. Cash some tickets, and I'll see you guys